Hello and welcome to the Career Compass program, which includes online learning sessions, podcasts, videos, webinars, white papers, and whiteboard videos, all specifically designed for NAVFAC. Please check the Career Compass Resource Center or CCRC often for updates and new content to support your learning. This content will assist with learning and development within the 20 non-technical competencies outlined in the Workforce Development Strategy. Today's topic is creating a culture of personal accountability in support of the accountability competency. Throughout this video, you will see a paper-pencil icon on some slides indicating a workbook activity. When you see this icon on the top left corner, this means I'll be asking you to write something in your workbook or to refer to your workbook. If possible, download the workbook from the CCRC before continuing this course. However, if you are not able to, no worries. Just use any piece of paper and write your thoughts down on that. You can always transfer that to the workbook later. The objective of this video is to understand how to create a culture of accountability where employees take ownership of results. In this video, we will define personal accountability and introduce the concept of being on or off the field. We will take a look at the benefits of being on the field and then discuss how to create a culture of personal accountability. Pause the video and answer the following two questions in your workbook or on a piece of paper. What does accountability mean to you? What is it like when you encounter a situation where there is no personal accountability? When you are ready, restart the video and we will continue. In this video, we are going to use the metaphor of sports to talk about personal accountability. During a game, regardless of the sport, there are players on the field and fans in the stands. Either you are on the field or you are in the stands, and the choice is up to you. The difference is taking personal accountability and being on the field versus not taking personal accountability and being a fan in the stands watching. Being personally accountable is being on the field, taking action, and having an impact on the outcome of the game. It is doing all you can to achieve the result you want. When deciding to be personally accountable or not, the choice is yours. You can sit in the stands and watch, or you can take the field and be part of the action. While both places can be fun and exciting, they are very different. Life in the stands is easier. No one can make you do anything beyond expecting you to adhere to the basic code of conduct in public. There is no pressure to perform, and there is nothing that cannot be ignored. Not to mention, you can always get up and leave. Despite life in the stands being easier, there is also no true reward to being there. No matter how emotionally invested a fan is or how loud they cheer, they do not have any real impact on what happens on the field. Thus, there is no ownership of victory, pride in effort, or growth from experience. In the stands, there is a culture of blame and avoidance, blaming players for not being good enough, coaches for not being smart enough, referees for being biased, or even other fans for not being loyal enough. All the while avoiding the truth that they chose not to be on the field, being part of the solution. In the stands, there is also a sense of helplessness. No matter how loud you cheer or if you wear a team scarf or uniform, you are still in the stands, and the outcome is left to be decided by those on the field. When we choose to be on the field, we do take risks of failing. But no matter what, we are taking ownership of the results that are delivered. On the field, we have a vested interest in what is going on. We work a little harder and support others on the field with us. So that in the end, when everyone on the field is working not only to achieve their best, but for the best of the team, great things are accomplished. Hit pause for a moment and think of a time when you were in a team setting or in an environment, one where others depended on you and you depended on them for the team to be successful. Write down in your workbook what comes to mind. How old were you? Where were you? Describe what the experience was like being on that team. Resume the video when you are done. If you have been on a team or in a group with a shared goal, clear roles and expectations, chances are you have taken personal accountability for your task and the overall outcome. When we shift our definition of accountability to being one of proactively taking charge over what is within our control to deliver the best result possible, then we are trusting those around us to do the same thing. In the work that we do today, we are dependent upon others to do their jobs, and they are dependent upon us to do ours. This creates an interdependent, trust-based culture for personal accountability. When we begin to take personal accountability and ownership of what is in our control, we will start to get the results we want, and others will begin to take notice and follow suit, taking ownership of their part. Studies show that when there is a culture of personal accountability, there is greater employee engagement and deeper trust among team members. There are also lower attrition rates, so members tend to stay and grow. There is more innovation, higher motivation, and greater satisfaction. In cultures with low or no personal accountability, we see much of the opposite: a lack of trust between team members, low engagement, higher levels of fear and blaming others, higher levels of pettiness. Overall, there are lower levels of accomplishment and higher levels of attrition. When there is a culture of low or no personal accountability, no one is willing to take ownership of results, so we see that goals, whether they are personal or organizational goals, go unmet, deadlines are missed, the quality of work declines, and there tend to be higher levels of conflict due to apathy and the blame game because no one wants to be held accountable. There are 4 key elements in establishing a culture of accountability. 1. Establish clear expectations. 2. Encourage growth and learning. 3. Empower ownership of results. 4. Be a role model of accountability by being fair and consistent in how you treat people. When creating a culture of accountability, be clear in your expectations of yourself and with others around you. Be clear around expectations on behavior, such as standards of conduct and how you treat others. Quality and work standards. A shared understanding of quality standards allows for ownership of the result of work and also provides a target to reach or exceed. Schedules. Being clear on when things are due and when you will review them allows for better planning and supports personal ownership. Lastly, be clear on expectations for communications. Let others know how you will be communicating with them and the most effective way to communicate with you. This helps to avoid misunderstandings and builds trust. Developing a growth mindset is key. It encourages taking risks and trying new approaches. Ensure that employees have the knowledge and training needed to be successful. If they don't, work with them to get the development they need. Design thinking is one example of using a growth mindset to develop new and creative solutions by trying new solutions through rapid prototyping and iteration. This is also a learning process that supports building, assessing, and correcting rapidly, so when something does not work, It is analyzed and lessons are applied. When employees have a sense of ownership in the result, they will go the extra mile to make sure that the final result is the best it can be. A key component to growth is receiving meaningful feedback that is specific and timely, so be sure to provide consistent and meaningful feedback to employees. Meaningful feedback will also help to determine what you get from employees, so make sure to praise what you like and want more of, and if something needs correcting, let them know that too. The difference between taking responsibility and accountability is that responsibility is focused on following through on a process. A responsible employee takes responsibility for taking an action or following a process, but not for the result that is the output of their efforts. This is not the same as an employee who is taking personal accountability for the results they produce. An employee that is empowered to be accountable will come in and focus on what is being produced, so that at the end of their day, if the result is not what was desired, they will continue to work to improve the result. When we take personal accountability, we take on responsibility or ownership of the results that are delivered. This is true for personal goals as well as when we take accountability for projects at work. We have talked about being accountable and being on the field and making things happen. Just as in any team event, everyone has a role and responsibility that they are accountable for doing to the best of their ability if the team is going to be successful. As leaders, we must get our employees to take the field and own their projects and responsibilities. We do this through engaging with our employees, getting to know them, and they get to know us. It's through these experiences that they begin to understand how we lead and what is expected of them and of us. This helps employees to make sense of the culture that we are developing and will lead them to develop beliefs about how they fit in, what is expected of them, and how to be successful. These beliefs are what will drive the actions they take. The actions of an employee who feels they are just another cog on a wheel are different from an employee who feels a sense of ownership of the product they are creating. It's the actions that are taken based on their beliefs that will deliver the results that we get. It is imperative that your employees experience you taking personal accountability for your work, because if you take ownership of your role, they will see that they are expected to take ownership of theirs. Personal accountability comes down to individual choice, to take the field or to sit in the stands. The only place to have impact or ownership of results is on the field. The culture on the field is one of accountability, teamwork, and achievement. The culture in the stands is one of emotional ups and downs with no control and is one of blame and avoidance. Leaders can create a culture of accountability by taking personal accountability themselves. Thank you for watching this video. We hope that you gleaned useful and helpful information. If you have any questions, please contact your civilian training advocate or contact HQ's BD17 at NAVFAC HQ Total Force Development at Navy.mil. Thank you for participating today. Be sure to follow the instructions on this page to submit your self-certification for this course. Or simply scan in the QR code on your screen to generate the email message for you. Be sure to include your Navy email address in the body of your email message if you are using a personal device. Again, thank you for your participation today.